walk right in, sit right down. I'm gonna let you have anything. Y'all filming over here? What the hell's going on? Is this like a YouTube show or something going on? Yeah, I'll roll with it. Gotta bring it back into service. Perhaps this beefy thing and spin it to 9,000 RPM. Hell yeah.
Hope the barn don't fall down. Jack stand is not touching the cars right now because
still sand everywhere. You want that Nascar rip, you know what I mean? Shift the rods or whatever. See this? Adjustable. Doesn't have to be perfect for Talladega. Welcome, Hansen Speed Shop. You feel me? I'm Vic, and today we're gonna build a Nascar. Yeah, let's just do it, right? Shall we? Got a race coming up 2 p.m. so gotta hurry up a little bit here. Welcome, another video. Welcome. In today's video, we're gonna continue where we left off last time. And you already know, we cut the whole front frame off with strut arms and stuff, and I don't really know why, but we just did it, okay? Because sure, why not? Fabrication. Yeehaw, project car. You already know. Let's get this done. Out of service. Gonna bring it back into service. Gonna weld the front frame back on, and then honestly, I don't know what's gonna happen, you know. When that's done, we probably got some other crazy stuff going on. You know, like secret NOS kit where we're gonna run lines inside the roll cage so people can't see it when we pop the hood, you know. No, don't worry, this is not a Fast and Furious show, so that's not gonna happen anyway. I'm just right now gonna take the strut arms off because that's a little easier. The whole assembly weigh a little less, then I can hold it up there. Tack weld, tack weld. Yes, that's the safety squint right there. So, first of all, removing these big old strut arms. These are pretty nice. Besides, this is being a bushing out here. I was kind of thinking about changing that over for like a Heim joint thing instead, like QA1 makes one. Not a big deal. If they could do 200 miles per hour around the track with no problem back in the 70s, we can probably also do that now. Man, though what? That was some long threads right there. I'm just gonna do the other side real quick. So there we go, just the 2 tack welds, and then I'm kind of gonna line it up on the side over here, give it a tack weld there. Then I'm gonna fully weld this side, but then I'm actually gonna cut that side again because, as you can see, the frame rail shifted like 2 mil or whatever, you know? Like it just came over a little bit. So I'm just gonna hold it to get the angle right over here with 2 tack welds, and then I'm gonna fully weld it on the other end, and then we can go over here and fix this problem. Just gotta prep this surface over here real quick that I forgot, and then we should be good. Probably gonna need perhaps this beefy thing and spin it to 9,000 RPM. Hell yeah. It's so annoying when it's cold, your helmet like fog up so I can't see diddly. Okay guys, so I'm just gonna film this quick, okay? 2 ratchet straps, sketchy, big shelf, hope the barn don't fall down. Jack stand is not touching the cars right now because, I don't know, physics, okay? It's just kind of levitating now. This stuff is pretty stiff and thick steel, so you need a lot of tension to move it a little bit, but got it now. Gonna do some quick welds. See you later. Well, there you go guys. The frame is attached and fully welded. Came out pretty nice. Got plenty of weld in there, so I actually ended up like grinding it down so it's like nice and flat and smooth, and there's nice penetration. I can see all the welds on the backside of the middle and stuff like that, so you know, turned out pretty good. On the bottom part and the inside part or whatever, I just let like the welds be there because they are not gonna interference or whatever. I just thought like here on the outside, you know, I might have to mount something or plate something up here. Probably gonna run 2 bars right down there where those 2 joints meets and stuff. So anyway, then I did something else. I know the guy said that the car got sandblasted at some point, like before doing the whole thing, you know, just to see, I guess, rust and stuff like that. Started taking an air hose, started to blow into frame rails and stuff like that. And as you can see, we got something that looks pretty close to a Sahara Desert underneath the car. So I'm probably just gonna use an hour now with toothpicks and pressurized air and stuff going into frame rails, and man, there's so much. You don't have to worry about how many freaking tons of sand is inside your car. Listen, I've been blowing and scraping and trying to get stuff out for at least an hour now, and as you can see, still sand everywhere, and dust and rocks and flakes of rust flying out and stuff. Man, I definitely get why people acid dip or not blast their cars now, cause what a cleanup mess. Cause every crevice is little hole channel inside a seam where two plates meet and anyway, let me clean this up real quick and then we're gonna get to the suspension stuff. I'm done now.
Nothing that's broken can't be fixed. Whether it's your jealous heart or your favorite kid. If you're broken all up inside.
Oh, damn. That thing is heavy. I just been gone for 2 hours, and you might wonder why. Here's a quick update.
That right there is a mopar 833 unit. Yes.
It's a B-body, long tail shaft one with the 2 mount pads for shifters. It's a 23 spline or whatever, but got it pretty cheap. And then we got a transmission that we can use and abuse, grenade it or whatever. And if that thing not gonna hold up, which I'm pretty sure it will, seems like good condition, you know, no playing the shafts and turn it around, doesn't sound like a sandbox in there or anything, like all crunchy and stuff. You know, we're gonna send it. So what we're gonna need now is a lightweight flywheel, because we want that Nascar rev, you know what I mean? Something like that. But right now we need like the shifter itself, right? Of course, the rods and all that up to it. Then we also need the small arms that goes right here on the shifter rods or whatever. Then we of course need the bell housing, hydraulic clutch from American Powertrain that can work with our Tilton Nascar pedal box thing, because there's already like a master cylinder on that thing. So we only need like a hydraulic bearing, release bearing, and then lines up to, and then we're good. Then of course bell housing, yeah, and then the pressure plate, clutch, and a lightweight flywheel for our high rev little 383 engine there. So we want that quick like NASCAR rev, you know, where just the 10,000 and then 0 RPMs again. That's just cool, and it's gonna sound more chop at idle. Probably gonna drive better and quicker on the racetrack, but of course street driving and also drag race launches and stuff, then it's not good. No inertia or whatever.
Even if you're running scared, you ain't everyone. If you're broken all up.
Gonna try to put up the sway bar and also the end legs thing, whatever, and the heim joints. And trying to get an idea of how, where, and what, and how we're gonna bend the arms out to the control arms. Sway bar down here, so that would be like a Q&A, heim joint to heim joint, and then the arm out here, and then sway bar would lay across the frame here. So sway bar, splines, arm goes over here, heim joint. So here's how you mount your sway bar on your race car, okay? Get down here, you got some big old heavy duty zip ties. Wait a minute, this will make sense at some point. So one there, there you go. And then, see, it's even adjustable. See this? Adjustable, let's go. So we're gonna do the same over here. And then pretty much we have an adjustable mount that we can work with to see where do we want our sway bar. I don't know, this seems like a good idea in my head. That's the only place it's a good idea. So pretty much what you're gonna have is this right here. This sway bar, mount, bar, whatever. Well, I guess you get the idea here, right? Let me move you closer real quick. You have the sway bar, and that arm gonna reach over here, right? And then of course, gonna be mounted a little bit closer than this, and then also this silver bar, probably gonna get a giant bend right here that's gonna angle this over here. So pretty much this end should end up right around here, or down here, not really sure yet. And then there's gonna be a heim joint from this bar up to this hole, and that's what's gonna mount it. Okay, there you go. The thing is maxed out. So if we pretend that this was mounted right here, there's only probably like 2 inches from ground to sway bar. I don't really know if I like that. Then I'm more leaning over to maybe having it on this side. But then we of course run into the other problem again with the steering. It keeps on keeping on this whole steering debacle. There you go. Doesn't have to be perfect for Talladega.
Plan of attack, cut the whole roll bars off, redo the whole front end. Let's go.
Okay, so it's the next day. You guys are a little bit dusty there, huh? We are back on the Charger. And one thing, I got to do when I shut off the camera last time is I put a fender and a wheel back on and I jacked the whole thing up ride height in this thing, right? With the spring in and stuff over here on this side. And I think I have come to realize something is if we want to achieve the ride height that they had back then and also get the look with like the front fenders cut up and all that, which we of course want to, I'm pretty sure and I do believe we have to redo the roll cage in the front. Let me show you why. It's not really because there's anything wrong with it, but it's because if we want the suspension to work and not be like completely static, well, we're gonna have a little issue. So over on this side, the tap thing was still welded on, how we got the car and how the car was sitting, as you can see in the pictures and stuff. And I have looked in old pictures and all that stuff to see where is ride height and how tall and low and all that were the different cars. 71 to 73 Chargers that ran like USAC, Nascar and all that stuff. Pretty much the same ride height. And how do I know? Well, the only thing that I really could find and a good way to measure off of was center of the front hub to this very particular body line that the Chargers have on the side. And in that way, all the photos I could find, and I'm talking like 20 photos I looked through last night with a ruler and stuff I was sitting there and measuring on the screen, I figured out that most all of them has the bottom of like the round piece on the hub is at the body line or a little bit above, most of them. And there's a few that are a little bit taller and different small short tracks. So what I'm talking about here is this very profound body line right here, right? That's a really good, like, how high from the ground to what measurement to use, right? And this is just like, you know, to kind of get an idea. And what I'm talking about, the hub, is this big old silver thing right here. And they all have that on all the pictures, so it's really easy to see this. And what I'm talking about is the bottom right here usually line up like exactly with the body line right there. Does that make sense? So it's not even at ride height right here. It's actually too tall. So I'm just gonna jack it up a little bit so we can actually get ride height, which is probably somewhere around there. And that's also equal. The lower control arm is completely level. And we're actually starting to match up the weird ball joint angle that we were talking about in the last videos. Apparently in all NASCARs, the upper A-arm has this ridiculous angle going upwards. So if you can see now we're starting to get there, but we're still not there. Okay, sidewall is starting to disappear up under the fender. And we still need to do probably an inch more. So I think we are almost there. It probably had to be lowered a little bit more. And now comes the problem. If you go on the inside of the fender and look, here's the problem. As you guys can see right there, there's not even an inch between the upper roll bar and the tire. And that's at ride height. So let's just say you start to drive, you know, turn the wheels, bumps, you know, at least a travel of 2, maybe 4 inches. We got problems, okay? Because right now it could probably drive straight, you know, like Talladega Speedway or something, and not hit the tire, as you can see right here. But if we start to turn as well, that's problems, big time. So if you gotta clean up underneath your jack stand, you can just, you know, use all your muscle, push it to the side a little bit. There you go, and then put it back. Very nice. So real quick, yeah, now you saw the pipes have been cut off, and smooth this stuff out over here. There's also some stuff up here that I grinded down, gave it some primer real quick. What I'm gonna do at some point is just make a circle or a piece of metal that I'm gonna weld to the bottom, and then like tap in the rest to, you know, follow this profile. Pretty simple little job, just make a little piece of plate. So as you all know, now that we've measured up for whatever holes we're gonna cut, I'm gonna try to use this old thing. It's a universal hole saw with a lot of, I don't know, like these weird hole saw pieces that you lock into this plastic bit, whatever, that goes in your drill. So I don't know, we're gonna have a try here out. Oh, probably gonna have to lock this piece here real quick. Yep, there you go. Let's go. I have a feeling that this bit might be for wood, you know what I mean? It just ate the teeth right off it. What the heck? That seems terrible. Really terrible. That's not for metal. Still a pretty decent video on how not to do it. So yeah, gonna need some proper cop drill bits or whatever you call it. I don't know what's it called in English actually. Anyway, now I have a precision measured out kind of wallowed hole to see where I have to cut.